welcome everyone to the Sigma Show, episode 52. I'm your host Sigma. Uh, Before I let you know who's joining me today, real quick, let's go over our short list of things we're going to be talking about. First up, Sony had some news as to how they were going to combat the lack of PS5s out in the wild. Interesting decision they're making. We'll talk about that. And also, Pokemon Legends Arceus got a 13-minute trailer that looked to detail a lot of the new quote-unquote stuff that they'll be adding to that franchise. I want to talk about kind of in depth what that looks like and what this means for like maybe Pokemon's going forward and like its legacy as a franchise. Here to talk with me about this is Ash Redux.
Yes, I am back on the interwebs. Good to see and not hear everybody, but whatever. I'm here.
You can't hear us?
No. I meant the people who are watching. I can't hear them.
You can't hear. Oh,
but I can see them. I can see their voices.
Yeah, none of that sentence made sense, but we'll move on to that. Also joined by Blue Bones.
What's going on, everybody? It's your boy Blue, BLUB0 NES.
As well as Marty Silva.
That was such a cool way to say your name, but I don't have that. I don't have that. Mine just looks like big titties, and so that's not great at all.
That's amazing.
Or the greatest.
What do you mean? That's the best.
I got blue balls for the longest time. You know what I mean? Like, dude, it was blue balls,
That's rough.
blub ones.
That's rough.
Yeah, I had to spell it.
Yeah, I did read as blub ones early on. I'm guilty. But I see Lampy in the chat banning Ash first thing in the morning. Good on Lampy.
Absolutely.
DJ in the chat as well. What's up, guys? Let's jump right into things. We'll start off with what we've been playing / watching and whatnot. I don't have a super long list. I don't know if any of you guys wanted to go first. No? I mean, I can start.
I want to hear about Ranking of Kings. That's what I want to hear about. I want to hear about Ranking of Kings.
All right. Look, let me tell y'all something, right? Right off the bat, this has potential, and I was telling these guys right before the show, has potential to be on my top 10 lists of anime of all time. Now, I've said this before, right?
You said this before about...
I've said this before.
Got a high school, I think, even.
I got a high school. I said it had potential. I did say it had potential. And that it fell through.
Like, how far down, though?
100%.
Because that show was awful. That show was awful,
you know,
in my opinion.
It ended up awful. It started off good.
That is the anime's fault, though. The read is better. The read is better. They fast forward in the
not
anime.
much better.
That's still fair.
I mean, also, if I had $1 for every like anime that started off like incredible, like Wonder Egg priority, I was like, oh, this is gonna be it. This is gonna be the best show of all time. And then I get to the end of the season, I'm like, well, why'd you do all of that?
It had such a strong start, but I feel what you're saying. But Jujutsu Kaisen, I wasn't wrong about that. That one is up there.
All
for me, it's not wrong.
Yeah, I think so.
Okay.
I feel like.
I mean, I like it.
It masters the formula.
Should have done it for me.
It masters the formula of a good shonen.
I will agree with you. I do think it's a better Bleach.
Yeah, thank you.
Like, I agree with that. Yes.
Wait. But this one right here, the premise is so unique, and the art style, again, is so unique. It's as dark as it is cute, and you don't get that right off the surface, and that's what surprises you. And I think that's part of the story. That's part of what the citizens of the kingdom. I'm not gonna go too far into it, but that's part of what they're feeling. You know, you don't know all the sides of all the stories, and when they pull it together, not every bad guy is a bad guy, not every good guy is a good guy, and it's so beautifully done. And the music, let me tell you something. The intro song is "Boy" by King New, and I've heard that song in the past on one of my other friends' streams. And I'm like, oh, this is a dope song. And then when I heard it in this intro and the way they did it, I lost my freaking mind. But basically, I want to give you guys a little premise. I don't want to just talk about how good it is. The main character, his name is Boji. He is the first prince of King Boss. He is
Boss.
Deaf. Yeah, King Boss, Bosse. But, comes off as boss, like a boss man.
That's a good name, a strong name.
But yeah, it's a very strong name. And King Boss is a giant of a man, and like literally, like most people come up to about his kneecap. And it just really shows his overwhelming strength as like the strongest man in the world. But anyway, Prince Boji is mute and deaf and tiny and just relative, like has no physical strength. And he seems to be a disappointment to the kingdom, especially as the next king coming after King Boss, this giant of a man. But Boji's determined to be a good king, and he's determined to be the best king. And seeing what he goes through with his with what was born with, and his determination is just beautiful, and his frustration too. Honestly, like a lot of people say they cry every episode, and I can get it. Like there's always some feels, but it makes you drive to go farther because Boji's just such a pure-hearted character that goes through that navigates through this mystery so well.
That premise really
You messaged
sells
me about this, right?
Yeah.
No, I was just gonna say like
sorry.
that.
I don't know who.
No, I was that premise, like the idea of like an underdog who is pure of heart, kind of winning you over because of like their endearment. Like I love that as a concept. Like I didn't realize how much I love that until like a bunch of shows at once kind of came out doing the same thing. Like My Hero Academia, Demon Slayer. Like the main characters being so pure in like their love for like either what they do or like the world around them. Like that hits like hard for me. So to hear that there's another show doing that with a character who's also suffering with disabilities and overcoming that, like that sounds like super interesting. Like I'm kind of Lampy's asking what's the name of the show. You said Ranking of Kings, correct?
Ranking of Kings. Yeah, Ranking of Kings. It's on Crunchyroll and Funimation right now.
Question: Is it only subbed? Is it dubbed as well?
No, it's dubbed. It's very well dubbed. Actually,
I don't know if you guys have seen the animated film A Silent Voice, where
I haven't.
So the girl is deaf. It's much better to watch it in English, I feel like, because it's easier to all right. So unless you are fluent in Japanese, maybe you all are, and I'm just the only one out. But it's easier to understand how broken someone's English is versus how broken their Japanese is because they don't hear. Gotcha. So you can hear the stress in her voice when she's trying to speak, but she doesn't speak well because she's deaf, and you can hear that much better in English. So that's why I was like, since you said that he was deaf and me, I was like, I kind of want to see if it was in dub, just because I feel like that hits harder for something like that. At least for me on the side of us, I watched it again in Japanese and it just wasn't hitting as hard.
No, that makes sense.
Which is different.
The voice actors are really great. I recognize a lot of the voices from some of our more popular anime. I heard All Might's voice in there. I heard who was it? My man Lelouch. You know what I mean? There's a couple of them in there. But one of the things I did want to mention, with the communication, the nonverbal communication, he has his grunts. He has his little. He likes to, whenever he's determined, he breathes through his nose. You know what I mean? It's just kind of it's the cutest thing in the world. And there's a lot of signing involved too. A nice draw to sign language, and
that's actually
guys,
interesting. Like, are you able to tell what kind of sign language? Because like it clicked in my brain a little while ago.
I wanted to say American sign
language. Yeah, exactly that. Because like there's American sign language, but clearly that's for America. So like, is there a Japanese sign language? Because I don't actually know.
I don't. And that's why I just said there's signing in it, because I wanted to be safe.
That's
in
smart.
The Eternals, the one character was using ASL, and they were like 7,000 years old. So.
Right, like they probably invented it.
I actually real quick wanted to just a quick side too for that. I thought the same thing, but I was like, wait, since they call it specifically American Sign Language, is there other ones? But I feel like, wouldn't it be easier just to have a universal sign language so that anybody in the world who's deaf can communicate with anybody else?
It would be easier to have
deaf?
a universal language as well.
In general.
But all right, but universal language, right? I'm not gonna actually, you know what? Let's not derail your thing. Like, I get it. I do agree with universal language, but that's why everybody almost in the world still learns English usually as a second language, almost. So English is almost a universal second language.
That's thanks to imperialism.
Almost.
They call it international. Yeah, no, that's terrible. It's not the right
It's
way.
terrible.
But,
It should not be the universal second language.
but yeah, Ranking of Kings, it's great. The story, like I said, it's as cute as it's as dark as it is cute. And you don't see it on the surface, and it's lovely to see it develop into that. Because actually, Ash, when I first watched the first episode, I was like, bro, you know, I know about your situation, your family and stuff. I'm like, yo, you need to check this out. This is super cute for the whole family. And then I watched a couple more episodes. I'm like, okay, hold on. This might not be family friendly. Maybe the first couple episodes, but then it just kind of got a little darker. There's a little bit more blood. There's a little bit more, you know. But yo, I do have to say, y'all, and if anybody's been watching it, there's a fight between the Shield and some hounds. That's all I'm gonna say. Amazing fight. I lost my. I had to pause it. My wife was working, and so I had to like calm myself down. You know what I mean?
You just barge into the room while she's working.
No, like,
Let's see this
like,
fight these dogs.
I was like, oh, nope, I'm not gonna spoil it, y'all. If you've seen it, that Shield and dog fight was amazing. But yeah, we're not gonna get too far into anything else. But Ranking Kings is the highlight of what I've been doing.
Yeah, before you jump into your next topic, I just want to go over chat because they gave us the answers to the question we had just now. Lampy says Japanese sign language is a thing. Yes, there's various standardized sign languages around the world, but nothing that's common everywhere. And John Lee Womley adds there is ASL. It's different for American English than British English. There's over 100, maybe more sign languages. So learn something new every day. Thanks.
Which makes sense. There's different sounds and everything in the actual language, so it makes sense that
exactly
like Arabic has more letters than the English language, so like they have more letters in their alphabet, so it just makes sense that there be different signs anyway.
To be honest, English does need more letters. We use the same letters for nonsense reasons.
How many letters should we have? Also, no, we just need to get rid of some of the bad letters and start making good letters. Like we don't need X. Like what do we do? With
I
X?
like X though.
No, we got
X is
give us like a triple U. Give us a third U.
Oh, triple U,
W,
yeah, or like double A, because A,
double A.
Yeah,
I use double T all the time. Like when I'm writing, I just do like that.
Oh hell yeah,
yeah. That's super
double
cool.
stylized.
Double
like
T's. Everyone loves double T's.
Like this guy knows how to write. You know what I mean?
What sound do you think a double T should make?
Was that not what we were going for?
I love all three answers. It was
so
today.
stupid. It was so stupid. Anyway, is that all for you?
And Honey Money, I wasn't talking about. I just figured since there was more letters, that words are completely different than.
No, yeah, my brain went like, a double
So, like,
T
in
is a
Arabic,
different letter than T, so it shouldn't just sound like T. But whatever.
Ooh, King is dead. With a great point. C is a useless letter. It can be replaced by either a K or an S.
That is kind of true.
Facts.
But then how would you write chi?
What's gonna happen to Cheerios?
Yeah, like how do you get the CHI sound then? See, you would need a new letter that is just the chi sound.
It could just be KH.
Or SH. Cheerios.
That wouldn't work.
KH.
No, I would fight that. I don't like
SH.
that at all.
Cheerios is
But
close
then,
enough.
we'd get used
what
to
you
it.
gonna do? You're gonna get up in the morning and put on your shoes?
No,
your Jimmy Choos on.
Wait, there's still an S. We're not getting rid of S. Put on your shoes.
Back on topic, Casey. Get us back on topic.
All right, yeah, Blue. Was that all you wanted to talk about?
I love Ranking Kings, yes. But the last two games I've been really focused on right now, or I'll say three. Final Fantasy 14, jump back into that, finishing up some Shadowbringers stuff, prepping to get into Endwalkers. I know they finally put it back on sale, so I'm just waiting till I get to that point. And I've been playing Yakuza Like a Dragon. It's on Game Pass. That game is beautiful. I did not realize how much I was going to love that game. The storytelling alone. There are scenes where there's two characters just sitting down talking about something that happened in the past. Typically, boom, instant cutscene, right? Mm-hmm. That's what you're going to see a cutscene and what happened in the past, and it's just what the dude was saying. No, they sit down and they talk. And the person saying it just tells the story so well. You're just enthralled. You don't want to pause that. They have long cutscenes, but they don't feel it because Like a Dragon is a beautiful game. It went under the radar for me, 100%. So I'm playing that right now. What were you going to say?
I know. I'm a sucker for in RPGs, especially when you have like a little home base that you go back to and like chill out, and that's what your like jazz bar is, or the karaoke lounge or whatever, like that little bar that everyone goes back to like in between missions. Like I really like that in RPGs.
It's beautiful. It's like a light Persona slash, but it's realistic.
Yeah,
and then at the same time, the main character is kind of crazy, so some things aren't realistic. Like I love the mix of everything that's going on here, and the fan service that they give to all their old titles.
Yeah,
is this your first Yakuza game?
No, it's not my first Yakuza game, and I think that's what makes this experience actually a little bit better, is because of the contrast between this and the other Yakuza games. You know what I mean? It's kind of ode to the RPG players out there.
That's how he wanted all his Yakuza games to actually be more like. So he was very excited to make Like a Dragon because he liked that type of RPG.
There's a lot of love in this game for video game players and RPG players.
Oh
yeah,
RPGs
in general.
Yeah, like rooted in Dragon Quest stuff. Yeah,
exactly. Absolutely. He's always talking about Dragon Quest. The whole premise is that he sees his life as a video game, and that's why it's turn based. You know what I mean? Like, okay, so yeah, Like a Dragon. Gorgeous game. I'm happy to be running through that on Game Pass. And then I mentioned in the Discord the other day, in the Open Party Discord, that Mass Effect, that remake, is on EA Play. I had no idea.
Yeah, they just put it up there, I think, like a week or two ago. Yeah.
Ooh, I am so happy. I am running through that
because you also haven't played it before, right? Blue?
No, I played it before.
Oh, you haven't played it before. It was Marty who had played it before.
Yeah, yeah,
yeah. No, but it's just been ages, and I have been talking about like trying to get back into it. But then when they had the original games on EA Play, I was like, oh, this is way too clunky, and I don't want to worry about the save files and blah blah. But then this obviously, solved all those problems, and it looks gorgeous. And I'm really happy to relive it.
I remember when I was streaming it, you came through. You was like, "Oh, this looks much better." You were like, "Actually, I might get into this because it looks that much better."
I think that this remake is or remaster should be the standard for remasters and remakes.
Like what did they do?
The way that they've upgraded everything is gorgeous. Well, for one, me, I love customization. We're going to talk about that later when it comes to the Pokemon stuff. But the customization system from Mass Effect 3, they put that into Mass Effect 1. That way, your character stays the same the whole way through. Little life. What is it called?
Quality of life.
Quality of life. Thank you. I was gonna say slice of life. I've been thinking about too much anime.
Too much anime.
You got too much anime in the brain,
right? So yeah, lots of little quality of life upgrades.
Like driving
the Mako is so much easier to drive now, and it's little things like that.
Did they do anything for the
fixed?
Well, no. Are you still in Mass Effect 1? Because I'm going to ask about the probing minigame in 2.
I'm still in 1 right now.
Okay, because I did as much probing as you possibly can do in Mass Effect, like because you had to like get that whatever you needed in that game. I know what that sentence sounded like. It's fine, but
what kind of probing you doing, dude?
But like it takes so long. It's like
you can do both kinds of probing in Mass Effect.
This is a safe space. You can talk about probing.
Like it takes so long. It's like a lengthy, kind of boring thing to do, but like you need to do it if you want to like kind of maximize whatever you're doing in that game. So I don't know. I just hope they made it.
King Jet said planet probing is still there.
I mean, I don't mind that it's there. God. I'm hoping that it's they've somehow sped it up in a way, or just made it less time.
You gotta take your time when you're probing, dude.
That's what I'm saying. Like. Yeah. This man trying to rush it. Yeah. Just enjoy it, bro.
All right, does that wrap things up for you, Blue?
I thought you were gonna be like, all right, well, that wraps up this week.
Yeah, I said Mass Effect, Like a Dragon, and Final Fantasy 14. Yep. That's me right now.
All right, cool. Anybody want to jump in?
Yeah, I'll follow up at least. Okay. Just talking about anime, since you mentioned Ranking of Kings.
Yeah, let's talk.
Like a week ago, I finished Sunny Boy, which I highly recommend to folks. It was a new anime completely original, not based off a manga. It came out last year, 12 episodes, I believe, and it's about a high school that suddenly in a snap gets transported into this black void out of space and time.
Right, I remember you mentioned
and the kids slowly start developing these like weird little quirks and powers. And then so the show is like partly about, you know, these like inner high school relationships that you'd expect from high schoolers. But then at the same time, the sort of more zoomed out mystery of like what the hell is going on and like how are these powers actually interacting with each other and why are they in this void and what are the sort of rules to this new world. And it has a couple really great episodes that like completely zig when you expect them to zag and like focus on one specific thing that almost feel like you could pull those episodes out and they'd be like little things you can put on the wall because they're such good kind of bottle episodes. Yeah, highly recommend it. And I really think it stuck the landing. It's very strange. It's almost like a kind of like David Lynch Twin Peaksy, mixed with like a little like Murakami magical realism. Really dug it though. So Sunny Boy. I'll put that in chat. And then I finally started
is it like kind of graphic? Like is there like a lot of death and like mayhem kind of stuff in it?
No, it's less no, it's not like super violent or anything, but it is and not like just not like they really like shy away from like fan service or anything. So it almost feels like a quote unquote adult anime just in terms of like its themes and its ideas.
Okay.
You know, you could show it to a teenager and it would be totally fine. There's nothing like
okay.
like really crazy about it. Mostly kind of like heady ideas. And then but on the graphic side of things, I started finally watching Attack on Titan. Never seen it before. Literally realized I didn't know what that show was about. Like going in, I totally like in my mind I had an idea for what that show was, and like 3 episodes in, I'm like, wow, this isn't what I thought this was gonna be. And so just this week I burned through the first season, which is I guess 2 arcs, like 24 episodes. Yeah, really digging it. I wanna be able to catch up in time for by the time this final stretch of episodes ends, because I don't know, I like sort of having my finger on the pulse of something as it's kind of blowing up, because I think that like Attack on Titan this final season is like the most watched and talked about show of any show going on right now.
When it
like,
premiered,
live action American
Crunchyroll and other parts of the internet because so many people were trying to stream it.
Yeah. And so, I'm digging that, jumping more into that. And then I was just talking about before we went live, the season finale of Yellow Jackets was last night. And so I'm stoked to watch that after this. And Yellow Jackets, for folks who don't know, it's a show about a high school girls soccer team in the 90s who are flying to Seattle from like Jersey to Seattle to national tournament, and their plane crashes in like the Canadian wilderness. And so the show splits a timeline between the survivors, like in modern day, because they somehow survive and make it back to the real world, and then what was going on after the plane crash. And so it feels like a little bit of like Lord of the Flies meets Lost meets Mean Girls, with like a real element of horror to it.
What is this called again?
Yellow Jackets.
Excuse me.
And
Breaking of Kings are getting binged apparently.
Asher's high school girls soccer team
season finale was yesterday.
Started Googling.
that was the first.
Wow. No, you got me when you said like you started. I was like, oh, okay, this sounds cute. So it's a sports anime or something. And then the next thing I hear is just like plane crash. I was like, what?
Yeah. No, this one's not an anime.
Yeah, this is an anime though.
It's not an anime. Still sounds cool.
Human people. Yeah.
Still sounds cool.
And I've read that it sticks the landing. So, well, the plane didn't stick the landing because it crashed. That wasn't good. But the season sticks the landing. So excited for that. And then folks in the chat were mentioning Expanse. I haven't watched this last season yet.
Yeah, I haven't started yet either. I wanted all the episodes to be out. I cannot wait to start. Yeah. It's the next thing I'm going to start watching.
Yeah. So we'll have probably more thoughts on that in the future. Yeah. And then games wise, I haven't been. A couple things I'm playing are embargoed, so nothing I can talk about.
All right. To stick with the anime
Can
stuff.
I slide something in real quick?
Yeah, go ahead. Slide on in there.
On the anime side? Slide on in there real quick. Hey, I just finished up Platinum End. I don't know if you guys checked
I saw that.
That's by the guy who did Death Note, right?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah, that was Death Note, folks.
Definitely on the MA side. But man, there's a lot of those ethical questions, like, save one to save a billion, or sacrifice 1,000,000 to save 1,000,000,000 kind of like there's a lot of those. But yeah, definitely a very interesting anime, very intense. Yeah, check it out. It's definitely not on the same level as Ranking of Kings. That can be on your backlog, but put Ranking Kings first.
All right. We get it. You like Ranking of But
I'm just saying.
No, I mean, it sounds interesting. I want to dig into that as soon as I can. But it's gonna probably take a while because right now I'm catching up on One Piece. It's I don't know where they're at right now, but I believe they're still doing the Wano Arc, and I'm catching up as fast as I can. Like I'm watching a lot of episodes in a go. And one thing is the Wano Arc, for the most part, it's filled with events, which is a thing that some of the One Piece arcs in the past have kind of dragged their feet on. Like they'll have a lot of just meandering and characters not really doing much while they're separated. Like they'll focus on maybe one particular group, or just because like they do the Dragon Ball Z thing where like there's a big situation happening, but like your strongest people cannot get there in time. So like it's kind of this waiting game of trying to hold out until your strongest people can get there. Rather than that for this arc, they're putting everyone, especially like the strongest people, in a bunch of situations where they have to keep fighting. So like there's a big fight coming, but there's all these smaller engagements and fights and situations that different people are handling in different ways, and it's all of it interesting. And so like I've really been like glued to my TV as they keep upping the complexity of their world, because like in this particular arc there's a lot of stuff that links to like I guess the end game for this show. And like you're getting revelations that kind of tie into stuff that you've seen forever ago. It's like, oh, there was a clue about stuff that's going on here, and you're learning about here that was in like the first shot of the show or something like that. Like it's so cool to see how intricately woven that story is. But like it is a massive tapestry. Like there's no way I could get someone to like watch an episode of One Piece as it is now and understand a single thing. Even if I tried to open my mouth and explain to them what the hell was happening on that screen, like it would not work.
Yeah.
Like you have to go back and start at the beginning, but I would not even suggest that because there's so many episodes. I'm on like 950 something right now. It's insane.
I'm on 80 something, bro.
There's so
like
much.
When you said I'm catching up on One Piece, I'm like, that should be an excuse to like not do anything. Like that's like, hey, I'm gonna watch this after I catch up on One Piece. They're like, just say no, bro. Just say no. I'm just playing.
I mean, the thing is, it does go fast because like the way I watch One Piece episodes which is why I wait so long to binge them, is because they really give you only about 10 to 15 minutes of actual new info per episode. Like there's hella opening, there's lots of flashbacks. And then, like, even within the episode, they'll remind you of things. And sometimes it's necessary because, like, shit goes down and is connected so deeply. Like, I'd forgotten that they had a whole other crew member who wasn't with them until Luffy opened his mouth and said, like, oh, man, what's the name still isn't here? I was like, you're right. Like, he's not there.
Yeah, that was 7 years ago.
Like, legit, 7 living years ago.
Yeah.
They were last year.
But, like, it's insane. Like, the power system in One Piece, it doesn't make any sense, but it's still cool. Like they have two actually. Like they have, the devil fruits, which gives people who eat them specific abilities that are tied to anything. Like there's stuff that's elemental, there's stuff that's like I don't know, like there's a character who can send people through time. Because you ate a fruit. Because you ate a fruit though.
I mean, it's a dude who can just chop apart his body using like episode 2.
Right, yeah.
What's it, Buggy?
Yeah, Buggy, yeah. Buggy makes an appearance in this. Like characters from forever ago like come back in this and like because they're playing different roles. And the thing is, characters from the previous arc even show up because that stuff was kind of left unfinished in a way. So it's cool that like the consequences of like what the crew has been up to, it doesn't stay where they've been, right? Like the places they visited, like all those places keep moving, and like you get to see hints of like what their influence has done to that, like how that has taken them to like a different place as they go and travel elsewhere. So like it's like one of my favorite things in One Piece is how after like big events happen, they'll do like maybe 1 or 2 episodes that kind of just show you the news. Like they show you like how everyone else is reacting to the stuff that's happening, and like that's just really cool to see because that world is big. Cool. Like it's really massive, and like how these rippling effects of like events over here, over there, affect everyone else. Like it's just really cool to see. So I highly recommend it. If you've not started it, just get it over with. Like just jump down the rabbit hole. Consult a guide.
It's not a thing you could just get over with. That's so many episodes.
No, I mean, get over
like a very big commitment.
Because the thing is starting. Like once you start One Piece, like you'll probably be in it for the long haul, and it can be quick if you skip all the nonsense. It can be quick. Like you'll be caught up in no time. I promise you.
How do you know how to skip the nonsense?
You can skip the filler.
Yes, and sometimes it's pretty easy to see, especially when you're using like streaming service and they have like the episodes in a list. Like the titles will tell you like, oh, this is like a side story, or like you'll see characters that have nothing to do with what you were just watching. Like you can literally just look at like a screen cap and be like, all right, this doesn't seem connected. The title doesn't seem like you watch for like 2 seconds and realize this is a different story, and then just skip past that. Like
there's not a lot of filler though.
Yeah, there's not as much filler as some other shows. Yeah, but you'll get like maybe 3 to 5 filler episodes after big events.
For Naruto's like 50% filler. The anime, One Piece is only like 9% filler when it comes to the anime.
That's
which is
crazy.
It sounds like you guys are like counting fat content on meat. You know what I mean? Like, One Piece is pretty lean. You know what I mean? It doesn't have a lot of. fat on stuff,
it don't.
Naruto, if you want that like tasty, juicy anime, you
know? Get all the fat with filler. Yeah,
like literally 400 episodes are almost filler.
Siggy. Yes. I think you're gonna hate me for saying this, but I'm gonna be 100% honest with you. Right? Hot take.
Hot.
About 90% of the reasons why you said you like One Piece, in a condensed way, those are the same reasons why I like Black Clover.
He said no.
Absolutely not.
I know. I'm telling you.
Absolutely not. Like the thing is,
I refuse.
I can see why you would say that because like Black Clover, it's so derivative. Like they're anime that do what other anime have done, right? But then like they try to put their own spin on it. But like Black Clover feels like a copy of a copy, and like nothing about like that world or those characters is original, compelling, funny. Like they're boring.
Not initially.
But like what's initially though? Like how much do I have to suffer through?
Yeah. I can say the same thing about One Piece. Thank you very much.
Well,
are you kidding me?
One Piece definitely
like
gets
my
better,
eyes are bleeding at episode 80 right now.
Well, at that point, you might just want to give up because by then I was having fun. Like One Piece.
Is that what you did on Black Clover?
No, Black Clover, I was not enjoying it at all, and I kept pushing through because people kept saying like, "Oh, this gets good. This gets good." I want to say I got into like maybe 20 to 30 episodes, and like I didn't like a single episode though. Like there was nothing in it that I found redeeming by that point.
Jeez. I haven't watched it yet, so I have nothing.
Give it a try.
I was just saying.
Give it a try. I'd like to hear your opinion.
There is a lot of, there's a lot of things in the late game that related to things that happened earlier. Just like you said, consequences aren't just immediate and then forgotten.
Mm-hmm.
The world does evolve over time from the events that, and even all the small events that the protagonists went through. So, I was just saying that same sentiment I had with Black Clover, and there has been a lot of hate for Black Clover in the past, and I feel like a lot of people are kind of reevaluating recently and saying that it's not as bad as they were saying.
I don't know. Maybe I'll give it another shot.
I don't think Casey's gonna be one of those people who reevaluates.
No, I understand. I'm not trying to.
My evaluation is solidified.
I'm not trying to convince him at this point. I'm talking to the audience.
I just hate it when like people are like, "Oh, I love this," and I cannot see it. Like I hate when I'm like blind to the thing that people are like loving.
Because there's at least like some video games will be like, I don't like this, but I can see why someone else might enjoy this content.
Yeah.
You're like, I can't even get that. What is this?
Yeah, like I don't get
Casey?
Black Clover.
Do you feel old, Casey?
I mean, yes, but not for this reason.
That's how Schitt's Creek was for me. The first season, I was like, what are people laughing at? And then I just stuck it out. Next season, I was like, this show is brilliant. And then it just got better from there.
That'll be you with Black Clover. You just wait.
Just you wait.
We'll see.
It'll be your Schitt's Creek.
One way or another, it'll be a shit. It'll be
I
a shit
love
streak.
how that came together.
One way or another, it's
Hold
gonna
on,
be
hold
Schitt's
on.
Creek.
So we can actually get to the topics for today. I've been playing Guardians of the Galaxy and Final Fantasy VII Remake. Guardians of the Galaxy is great. I love it. It's amazing. It really feels like I am playing a Guardians of the Galaxy movie. With actual good gameplay, the combat's good, the RPG elements are fun, and the usual Guardians of the Galaxy, them quipping at each other, isn't cringy. It feels legit. If you find the Marvel Guardians of the Galaxy movies cringy when it comes to their humor, then that's the only reason you find this cringy. If you thought it was fine, then this is fine. Okay. If not better, depends on how you feel. But otherwise, no. Overall, good game, packaged well, like it a lot. I know some people who didn't like the Marvel's Avengers game were worried that this was going to be the same thing. I feel like them focusing on it being single player and just the story made it really good. I didn't get a chance to play the Avengers game. I wanted to play it with Blue because he likes it. But otherwise, I know people who didn't like the Avengers game.
Yes, sir.
People who didn't like the Avengers game did like Guardians of the Galaxy, and I think that's mostly because they like the single player aspect and whatnot. There's this moment that I won't spoil too much to that was even surprising in the game where you don't realize you have a choice in something. There are choices you can make, obvious ones where you like choose to do this, choose to go with plan A or go with plan B, and that does actually impact what happens next and how the story progresses and stuff, which is also cool. Not something crazy like in Mass Effect or Dragon Age, but it's good enough where you feel like you made choices that made differences. But there's one point where it's not a dialogue option per se, but you engage in something and you don't really realize you don't have to do it. And I wish I could go into detail, but it's a big moment in the game and I don't want to spoil it. But you're doing this thing and in your mind, you're like, oh yeah, this makes sense. I'm just going to do it. I found out later that I could have ended that whole sequence easily if I just did. It's almost like like in a Sniper Elite 4 where, there's like, oh yeah, you got to take out this. No, actually Metal Gear Solid. That's a better one. I forget who it was. It's a dude in a wheelchair in Metal Gear Solid.
That's Metal Gear Solid 3.
Yeah. You can kill him way earlier and you can just avoid that boss fight, right? Almost like that, except it's not at a different point in the game. It's like you could do this thing or you can just take it out right now and you just avoid the rest of the sequence that you're about to go through. And I didn't even realize that. So it was really good.
Fire Emblem Three Houses had some fights like that too. No talk. If you took out some enemies early, they wouldn't transform, or they wouldn't have certain dialogue and change the course of what happened. It's dope. I love those kind of elements.
My favorite from an older Fire Emblem was there's somebody in your party who betrays you. I purposely left them out to die. I just let that unit be killed. I just sent them out. I was like, you kill as many of them, and I'll wait until you die. Because they were a strong unit. I think they were like a paladin or something too. So I took away their weapon and just sent them out to the middle. I was like, and you will die. And I will not deal with you in the next in the battle when you come up. Sucks to suck. and I was a kid when I did that. And I felt like a genius when I got there. I was like, yes, he's actually dead. That worked. I was like, this is the best game ever. So, but yeah, so those two, the Final Fantasy VII remake is also really good. Haven't been watching too much anime lately, except, well, the wife was also catching up on One Piece. She had binged One Piece way back in high school when I got her to watch it. She got to like episode 400, I think. And she was like, I haven't watched One Piece in a while. Let me go watch One Piece and watch my... yeah, basically. She's like, let me go watch more of my... Like, all right, so, I hate this, but, I can't find fault. Zoro is her husbando, apparently, even though we're actually married, but that's okay. It's cool. Whatever. You do your thing.
Zoro gets I can't have a wife in this arc too. So, but by the time she gets to Wano,
oh great!
Like you're gonna be in trouble.
Great. Oh woohoo! Every time she's like, yeah, Zoro's just awesome. I'm like, if you don't shut up about Zoro right now, but I'm in the back of my head like, but Zoro is awesome, and I can't fight it. I can't blame you, whatever. But yes, she's been watching One Piece, and we've been meaning to catch up on Jujutsu Kaisen as well. So we're behind on a few things. Shoot, we're behind in My Hero Academia by a lot. But yeah,
I'm purposefully
that's
behind on
what I've been doing.
That and Demon Slayer. I want those to rack up episodes.
We're waiting for Demon Slayer.
My Hero season 5 has been done. Season 6 is about to drop.
Yeah, the one where they focus on the villains or whatever, right? That's the latest one.
No,
that's
they
coming?
already did that.
They did that already?
Yeah, that was like wasn't that the last arc of the last season?
Was it?
Yeah,
Oh,
was
okay.
back
All
after
right, I
last
got some
season.
My Hero to watch
Wonder
then.
Woman
He said, "Well,
I can't stand Stigma sometimes, yo.
Look, I don't be jealous
But-
because I had this gluttony of amazing anime to binge because I have
In
patience.
backlog?
Yes.
I don't care, but yo.
What episode of Ranking of
that's
Kings
what
are you
I've been
on?
doing.
How much have you seen of that show?
Me?
Yeah, how many episodes
Oh,
exist?
I'm
I think only 13, right?
yeah, 13. I think I'm on
Yeah.
7 or 8. I'm taking my time.
Oh, so there's 13 out already. That whole season's already out.
Yeah, it only came out like a few months ago.
Oh, cool. All right, I can probably binge that then.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can do that before My Hero. Blue, it's all good. See how the world works.
Also, you could watch like 1,000 different series in the time it would take you to watch One Piece as well. So
I mean, yeah, One Piece is like
that's
in
kind
the
of
background. Like I don't watch One Piece and nothing else because I'm watching One Piece. Like you couldn't do that. Like I wouldn't be able to speak to you guys in English. I'd be talking in Japanese if all I watch is One Piece.
One Piece is just like sports, right? It just doesn't end. Where you're like,
No, the thing is, it is
sports
gonna
like a thing
end.
that's always going to be in your life.
It is gonna end. No, it's gonna end.
Is it?
That's the thing. Like, because Lampy.
Why though? At this point,
No. I'm saying it's gonna end eventually. Like the story's always going forward. Like it's not the case where like there's a premise and then you have endless adventures, right? It's always moving forward. The characters are growing, like they get older, time passes. So it's always a linear plot. It's a very long plot, but it is heading towards an ending. It's not like, okay, the gang is at another situation that is similar to this last one. It's not like a sitcom. Yeah, what you
Not
got,
like The
Ash?
Simpsons.
Right, like The Simpsons.
Now, do you think that One Piece is going to end, or do you think it's going to be this is the end of the Straw Hat Pirates adventure?
Oh, no,
Here's
like
a
a
new
spin-off?
adventure still in the world.
Yeah,
Do you think it's going to be a Boruto?
Boruto.
I mean, One Piece is super popular.
But minus all the Naruto characters, if you get what I'm saying. Like it'll still be like
the world is
Luffy
big enough.
Would be
There's a good chance of that, to be honest. Yeah, there's a good chance that they'll
At
want
that
to
point,
continue it
Luffy would
after the
be
Luffy
either-
story's done.
Yeah,
It makes
I wonder
sense.
if they'll do the whole Luffy's basically the same as Goldie Roger, like he's long
Right,
gone
like
and
he's
we're much in the
historic
future. If they'll
and-
do more like or if he'll be like his grandfather, he's just old. He's still powerful, and he's like an old pirate, but maybe he just doesn't go pirating anymore. He's just like,
Yeah, he's retired.
I'm on my own thing. I'm retired. I did what I had to do. Found the One Piece. I'm that dude.
But I mean, the One Piece
Have
story
there
will
been
end.
One Piece spinoffs? Have there been like how Boruto? Isn't Boruto like Naruto's dad
Yeah,
or
but
something?
that's more
Oh
like
my
a
god,
sequel.
what just happened? What did you just say? You just burned me.
Yeah,
I don't know. I never watched Naruto. I just know
Oh
he's got
my
like
God.
he's got a dad named Boruto or something.
no, that's
Oh
it's
my
backwards.
God.
It's
Other
his
way
son.
around.
The
I
Boruto
heard.
show
That
is a
makes more
sequel
sense.
series. It's like going from Dragon Ball to Dragon Ball Z to Dragon Ball GT. Like that's
Okay.
what that is.
I
Okay,
can see that. Ooh,
that makes
GT.
sense.
I guess.
Which has been erased from
Maybe they're gonna make
history.
One Piece afterwards.
Bo
Two
One
Piece.
Piece? Oh
One
my
Piece about Luffy.
God.
But Bluefy is his son.
Luffy?
Honestly,
Luffy? Oh my gosh.
this
I
is
might watch that.
complete tangent.
First of all,
Luffy is
Go ahead.
asexual. He has zero interest
It's not a
in,
man.
huh? He's not.
Oh
a what?
no. It is a man. You say asexual. Sorry.
Yeah, no, yeah. Luffy is asexual.
I thought
He
you
has
said
zero interest in women, men, procreation whatsoever. He wants to.
now is that
fun with his
legit,
friends.
or is it because he's just too focused on?
I mean-
Luffy could be autistic, and I know.
I mean,
I've
no,
also
I mean,
I believe me. He could just
There,
be
no, that's
focused
no. You're,
on
that's
that.
actually a really. There's evidence that he may actually be autistic. Like I didn't think about that.
Or was it the fruit that just, knocked out
Like his common
his plumbing.
sense, or his
I'm
libido.
saying.
You
Yeah,
never
his
know.
libido.
I mean, I don't know because
He
there.
sacrifices his sexual
Fungus
libido.
away.
No, there are other
If you look at
characters who are.
Goku was the same.
But no, Goku was the same.
Goku
But
got
yeah,
a
but he
kid.
had
but
several
Goku was
children.
the same though. He was not focused on, but he wasn't focused on romance at all. Chi-Chi just like, you promised you would marry me when we were kids. He was like, all right, sure, whatever.
Yeah.
If he never did that,
You know
Goku
what
would have probably been.
happened?
But do you think he
got
initiated it?
Chi-Chi
got
probably
trapped.
poked a hole in the condom. You're right.
Yeah, like
Oh
Chi-Chi.
my god.
I'm being dead serious. Goku would not have gotten with anybody if it
Goku
wasn't for Chi-Chi.
Didn't know the hot sauce trick. That's all.
Sorry.
Goku gotta learn from Drake.
Oh my god. Point is, I really feel like if it wasn't for Chi-Chi being so driven, Goku would have been single. He wouldn't
You're
have
right,
cared.
So
yeah.
what you're
Like,
saying is Luffy ain't with the right one yet.
I mean,
Well, the
I
right-
feel like once he finds One Piece, then maybe he won't care anymore. He'll be like, "Yeah, sure, Hancock, I'm done." I
Yeah,
don't have
because
to travel the
Boa
world
Hancock
anymore.
He ain't
basically
found it
promised. Boa Hancock promised herself to him. She was like, "That's," but like Luffy has no interest. But whatever.
He has no interest.
You said cool story, bro. But wait, they ain't found the piece yet.
Nah, man.
Nah,
We don't even know what it is yet. We still don't know what One Piece actually is.
it's friendship. It's the
Bro,
Kung
That's
Fu
a
Panda
theory.
Dragon
As
Scroll.
No one knows.
It's
No one
like-
has any
Let me
idea.
get this. We're about 800, 900 episodes apart.
No, they
We have
crossed
the
the
same
1,000
amount
mark.
of
They crossed the
knowledge.
1,000 mark.
Okay, so over 1,000 episodes
Over
apart, we have
1,000
the same
episodes.
amount of knowledge on what One Piece is.
I'm telling you, it's the whole Kung Fu Panda open the Dragon Scroll and it's just your face. It's like, this is the One Piece. Friendship. All the people opening the chest with you, friendship, adventure.
Yeah,
One
King's
Piece.
Dad says
What if
One
they
Piece
open
is
it
the
and
friends
it's
we made
like,
along the way.
That's right. That's it.
What if they
probably
open
right.
the chest and it's like Raiders of the Lost Ark and it just burns all the Nazis' faces off? That would be good.
Well, if it's only the Nazis, I'm cool with that. But
And there
In
are
general,
Nazis
yeah, no, that's gonna
or
suck.
Nazi equivalents in One Piece, so that would work.
Okay, I'm asking. I don't care, Casey. I don't care about your podcast. I'm staring this right now. Do we know the point? And I don't care how this sounds. People who don't watch One Piece. What is the point of the D? The D.
Oh,
What's
we
the
don't
point
know.
of it
We don't know
yet?
about that yet. Either.
Do we know?
No, we
that's
don't know
how
about
you
that
make
yet.
kids.
Shut up. The will of, so we don't. We
Luffy's
so me and
interested in
you have the same knowledge of what the will of D is still. Like
Yeah, they've
that's it.
not
We just
explained
know
it.
that. Okay.
We just know it's significant.
God dang it.
We don't know what that is.
All right.
But yeah, let's
That's
actually
the D?
move into
the
our.
D. Don't worry about it. Just keep going.
Me and McBiggity, like, you okay?
Let's actually move into our topics for the day. Sony has basically stated that they're aware of the PS5 shortage. It's an ongoing issue to this day, and they have a plan. They're going to make more PS4s. Let that sink in for a little bit. There are not enough PS5s out there, so Sony said they're going to make more PS4s. What is going on, Sony?
Wait. I thought they said they were supposed to be discontinuing the production of PS4.
Yeah, that was the
No,
plan.
they're Microsoft's discontinuing Xbox One,
Right.
but Sony is doubling down and being like, "Listen, we can't make enough of these PS5s, so we're gonna start just making a bunch of PS4s, and maybe you dummies aren't gonna realize it."
Okay, so because I remember they initially were thinking about it, but they canceled that plan. That was okay. They
Right.
canceled the plan to do that. Sorry, when you said the article, I thought I was like, oh yeah, I read about that, and then that's why. Ignore me. I did. I read articles. I do
Like,
that.
No, go ahead.
That's crazy though. I don't understand the strategy. I feel like they're trying to push the PSN and have some kind of foot in the door with this service competition. But yeah, that's the only thing I see. I don't understand it. Besides, like, we want you guys to play on our stuff, but
That's
you can't
purely
get-
it. Yeah.
we can't get you the stuff that you want. So it's just like, yeah.
But did it really like do more? The PlayStation's basically in as many households as I feel like it needs to be. Anybody who already has a PS4 are probably people going a PS5. Anybody
Right.
without a PS4 probably don't want a PS5. Probably. I say probably.
My problem is I can't get a controller.
You can't even get a controller.
For a PS4,
Bruh.
well, maybe
Like-
with these new consoles, they're gonna be making more controllers. So you're in luck.
Hopefully, that would be nice.
Like, the only thing I can.
Yeah, it's.
No, go ahead, Marty.
Oh, go ahead. Oh, no. I was just gonna say it is literally they are making as many PS5s as they possibly can, given the still 2-year in disruption in production because of the pandemic, and which kind of shows no signs of stopping, especially with the pipeline and everything. But the PS4 thing to me is just strange. Like, I'm not like you had a really great point that like it's already sold. I think there's 120 million PS4s sold to date, which makes it like the second best-selling home console of all time. And at this point, I don't know who is this really being marketed towards. That said, we're seeing the generation bleed over longer and longer. Like this year, Horizon and God of War are still going to be on PS4 as well as PS5, and a bunch of third-party games we're seeing, like Gotham Knights and the Hogwarts game, and a bunch of stuff is still going to be. Dying Light still going to be available on the old consoles, even though we're in the second year of the new consoles. So I think it's just they're extending this generation further and further, which sucks on one hand for folks who really want just stuff to be focused, like Returnal and Ratchet and Clank, that really focuses on the what these new consoles can do. And it's interesting, it came at the same time where Microsoft was saying that the Series X and S are the fastest selling Xbox consoles ever. So they're selling faster than even the 360, which was doing gangbusters at the time.
Yeah,
I think one of the
I just wanted to add, like, I think that's kind of what they were trying to do here, is because a lot of the stuff that should have been at this point exclusive to the current generation is still crossing over with the old one. They're like, all right, well, if no one can play on the PS5 because they can't get it, we might as well keep making the old one and make sure that people can still play our games somehow. But yeah, that same point, like, who doesn't have a PS4 already? Like, unless these PS4s that they're making are, one, the PS4 Pro and not like the base PS4, but then also
they shouldn't make a base. They should only make
pros. But then also super cheap, like the cheapest a PlayStation 4 has ever been. Like, I don't see a point in this. And even then, like, it's kind of out of necessity because you still can't just make a PS5, which is what people actually want.
Yeah, and one of the things that concerns me is that the new titles that come out, right, they're going to be full price on both platforms, and one quality is going to be much better than the other, and you're going to feel it.
Yeah, and full price, remember, is $70 for Sony exclusives.
$70 for a PS4 game.
Yeah, I was so mad that Final Fantasy VII Remake on PC was also $70. I was like, "Excuse me, I'm on PC." This is supposed to say
we don't do that here.
How dare you?
He said, "Did you run my PC discount?"
Excuse me, Epic. You're kind of not doing it right.
Yeah, it'll be interesting too to see if there's a lot of discussion this week over whether Sony's gonna start embracing PC ports much sooner than like we're getting God of War yesterday came out on PC, and that was that game was almost 4 years ago, and same thing when Horizon came out last year, and people are wondering is it going to be 4 years before Horizon 2 and God of War 2 come to PC, or is this timeline going to truncate in the same way that Microsoft's really embraced day and date games for their big first party games? They consider PC almost the exact same thing as the Series X now.
That's what they need to do, because I don't want to buy a PS5. I want to save my money.
Yeah,
my PC can run it. I don't need to buy a PS5. Put it on there.
I think what's really interesting is how over time Sony was the one who was championing moving on and getting to the next generation and not having any hangups with the older console, and it really has seemed to reverse. Like Microsoft's. They're like, hey, let's move on. Now we have a good console that people like and are afraid of. Like, let's forget the old generation. While Sony's like, well, our new console isn't as widely available as possible. Remember that really good one that we did last time? Remember how much you loved the PS4?
Yeah. You guys like that, right?
Yeah, you guys love that. Yeah.
You guys like Bloodborne, right? You guys keep asking for that one.
Oh, we're definitely not gonna put that in PC though, so don't ask.
Apparently not. That one needs it the most, but it's okay.
Yeah. Blue, you also brought up the point. A lot of rumors are pointing to. There have been like reports of Sony really leaning into sort of the Game Pass model and backwards compatibility with like a service codenamed Spartacus, that might be the way PlayStation owners are able to play backwards, like games from the PS1 to 3 generation. And they don't know, like the report wasn't super clear on details, but it seemed like it would almost like get rid of PlayStation Now, and then it would all be folded into like the same service that has tiers. So you could have like the low tier would just be online play. The mid tier would have sort of the like free games, a couple free games a month, and then the high tier would have access to like legacy games in the same way that Game Pass does.
Also,
which would be cool.
On PC. Put it on PC as well, and then I'm good.
Yes, I think that'd be great.
I just want all my Game Passes on PC, and I just want all my PC and my Nintendo console. I know Nintendo won't do it, so I'll just get my PC, my one Nintendo console.
Nintendo doesn't know how. They have no idea how to do
it. They don't
care because we're going to buy anything that they put out.
And I will. And you're right.
I mean, Lampy said, "Is that service releasing at the same time as the Switch Pro?" Lol. Gonna happen. I promise you.
I mean, on that note, we can jump into the Nintendo thing unless you guys have more to add.
Yeah. No, my more was Nintendo stuff, so please lead us there.
I will go last on this Nintendo topic if you don't mind.
All right. So we got some new extended footage of the new Pokemon Legends Arceus game. That I'm pronouncing it right, Ash? It's Arceus, not Arceus.
I believe it's Arceus. Yeah.
Why you got the Malcolm?
I don't know. Like Ash looks like he's about to Morpheus us.
Let's talk about Pokemon.
Shut up! I'm focusing.
But basically, I will admit that they do seem to be trying a couple different things than they have in the past. It is an open world that you seem to be able to move around through freely. You interact with Pokemon in the world where it doesn't necessarily cut to like kind of a cutscened staged battle, even though it is still turn-based, but there's also some action-y bits. I'm using the word action loosely, where you do kind of fight against Pokemon. Like they borrow some Monster Hunters type engagements where like Pokemon are attacking you directly and you're actually dodge rolling out of the way and like throwing stuff at them or whatever to combat them and stuff. So they're trying something here. Personally, my take is that this looks like something they should have tried back on like the Wii era or the Wii U era. Like it's way late for them to be kind of fumbling through this open world take on Pokemon now. Like this game looks like it should have come out at least 10 years ago. Like visually and mechanically, in my opinion. So I'm still kind of just not at all really down for what they're trying here. But on the other hand, this is the most they've moved from that base structure in like forever, like ever, probably. So it's kind of encouraging in that way. But I mean, what do you guys think?
Lou, go ahead. This is ISO. You go.
I thought Pokemon Mystery Dungeon was a great escape from Pokemon in the past. No, but besides that, I definitely agree. This is the farthest step out of a big title game that I've seen in forever. I mentioned it earlier. Customization. I love me some customization. I like putting myself in the game. I think there was only, and Ash, you'd have to pinpoint it for me, but there was only probably one generation where you could really, or one or two generations where you could really make your character. And with something like this, I feel like this is the prime place to make a character that looks like you. And they said, let me give you these two generic people and like 4 different color outfits, and you can just mix match however you look like, because you're gonna look stupid anyway. So one,
they do look stupid. Their outfits are dumb.
How the character looks. And I was looking at the hair options, and they got like these braid cornrows that look like they should be on a little black girl. There's no option for that.
Are you sure honestly, there's no option? Like, did they show like the whole thing, or did you just show like a couple of?
I paid attention to that.
I don't know.
Now,
because I find that so hard to believe that they would go back to not giving you like darker skin options. But
they've done that in the past.
Yeah, they have done that in the past. Like I want to say, Pokemon Go even, which isn't necessarily the Pokemon company, but folks should know better.
Yeah.
Pokemon Go had like like Ash's complexion was probably the darkest complexion they had for like your avatar in Pokemon Go.
Yeah, that was.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wait, so in Sword and Shield, could you? Because like this is the core Sword and Shield team. So
Sword and Shield had
Sword
darker
and
options.
Shield?
Yeah, they did.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah.
But like, yeah, if they went back and kind of eliminated them for whatever reason, like that seems really dumb.
There was one that was based in Paris, I think, and you can make a character there, and then they went back to not being able to make it after the next generation, and then they've been flip flopping on it. Now, Ash, I see the pictures that you just sent. Now that wasn't in the video, right?
That's why I shared.
Yeah, that wasn't in the video at all. And when I had done my initial research, I didn't see any of that too. There was some.
Okay, so they do.
Now,
okay, so according
cool.
to Ash, who has sent us some photographic proof, there are darker.
Late as hell.
How do you just have a bunch of pictures of Pokemon characters on your computer? What's going on?
I live my life one day at a time.
That's fair. Okay, so look, we'll give it that, right? They got that. There is a lot of options.
Hey, Blue, you recognize that suit though? That suit the character got on with the Balenciagas. You feel me?
Oh
the last one I said.
And I wish we could put it up on the screen. But okay, so let's go ahead and throw out the customization gripe right there. I would have to just look more into it. But when it comes down to the Monster Hunter like action, I think it's a little bit too little. When it comes to and then it goes back down to the basic turn based. Right now, I know they got the agile and the strong versions, which I think is cool because that is a different way to attack. To strategize. It's a different layer to it, whether you want to hit fast and weak or hard and slow. Okay, I like that. But I don't know, the fact that it's a hub and you're just kind of going out to one area, like your hub it's Monster Hunter, but just super, super light. I just wanted more. I think that's what I'm trying to say. I think it's not enough one way or the other, Pokemon or Monster Hunter.
I do have
And to be fair,
options,
no one's played this game yet.
The skins that Ash sent to us, I just put on the stream for folks to look at.
Thanks.
So you can see
okay.
Oh, there they are. Look at them hanging up top. My main worry about this is while that 13-minute look we got earlier this week was like a nice, like, okay, I understand the flow of this game more. No one's had their hands on this game yet. Like no one. Yeah,
like no one has had like
impressions. No one's talking about what this comes out. Feels like
this month, right?
This comes out in a week and a half. Yeah.
Like wow.
And so I'm just a little concerned that folks, when it was revealed initially, got their expectations up really high because they were like, "Oh my god, this is finally the Breath of the Wild leap that we wanted from Pokemon." And I don't know. I just don't know if the Pokemon company, like they're incredibly talented, obviously, and it's one of the biggest multimedia franchises, in human history. But I just don't, given their this is the only Nintendo franchise that's annualized in some way, shape, or form. Like we get a Pokemon game every fall, come hell or high water, whether it's a big expansion or a remake or something, and we don't get that same thing in Mario. We don't get that same thing in Zelda. And by letting those teams take 4, 5, 6 years to come up with their next game, you get Alzheimer's, or you get games like, Breath of the Wild or Mario Odyssey that like really change up the formula. And until they allow that team to go into like deep hibernation and come out with like something truly revolutionary, this does just feel like Monster Hunter Lite to me, which, like you said, Casey, feels like it's 2 generations too late. Like it doesn't seem like there's anything about this game that couldn't have been done on the 3DS. But I mean, and we'll see we'll see what this open world looks like. The game doesn't look good. The open world doesn't
3DS.
Yeah.
Funny story. Pokemon Legends Arceus kind of looks like Breath of the Wild.
It does.
Whoa,
a little bit.
Wait a minute.
Look,
Breath of the Wild looks
Don't
cleaner than this.
Don't put on your nostalgia goggles.
Breath of the Wild look cleaner than this. Don't do that.
What Breath of the Wild does is it, like you mentioned earlier, before we actually started streaming, it puts a filter over its graphics. That gives it like that kind of
nice
cartoony.
Filter.
It is a nice filter. It helps make that world look nicer than it actually is. This looks like Breath of the Wild without said filter. And what's funny is at the end of this trailer,
Breath of the Wild with the.
No, what was you gonna say?
End of the trailer. What happened?
No, at the end of the trailer that we're talking about right now, like they kind of show you like an animated version of that world. Like they kind of put a filter right on top of it, and then they show you the box art. Like that looks so much better than everything they had showed us for like the previous 12 and a half minutes. So like whose idea was that? Like the game doesn't even look done, honestly.
The way I look at it, I feel like they put the Ghost of Tsushima filter on the Breath of the Wild animation. It feels very foggy on a regular basis. Of all the gameplay that we've seen. Now that doesn't mean it can't change. Blah blah blah. But
I mean, it comes out in 10 days. It can't change.
Unless they announce
it can't be fun.
Unless they announce a delay.
There's other stuff that we haven't seen. That's what I'm trying to say.
I don't know, but I mean, Ash, you still
I'm not hyped for this still.
Yeah, like I feel like that's the resounding sentiment. But Ash, as a super fan of Pokemon, I need to know, what is this doing for you? Probably the biggest departure that Pokemon has attempted yet, but still looking this trash. How you must have mixed emotions.
I'm glad you asked, Casey. You see, all right, let me stop. Okay. Blue was like, "Oh, this man about to spit. Go ahead. What are you about to say?" All right. So, ultimately, I actually am. I'm not like super hyped or anything, but I am potentially excited, potentially cautiously optimistic is what I'm going to use for Pokemon Legends Arceus. One, I have to remember that technically this is a spinoff. It's not like even a mainline game. I'm hoping that they take elements from this and start incorporating them into their actual mainline games eventually. But that's still just a hope. Pokemon has plenty of spinoffs that they have where those elements do not come into their mainline games. So this could be exactly the same.
Do you know if they have multiple teams who work on because they must have teams that are kind of alternating, right?
To my understanding, we have the Pokemon Company just over, and then we have Game Freak, right? That's now there have been for spinoffs. There have been people that aren't Game Freak that will work on spinoffs. When it comes to the mainline games, though, that's always Game Freak.
And this is Game Freak.
I can't remember a mainline game. Now, actually, I never looked in to see who did this. I tried to not look up as much information as possible because I didn't want that to curve my expectations for it. Now I'm going to do it right now.
It's Game Freak. It's a core. It's the core Pokemon team. Whereas Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl were Ilka, I think.
Okay.
A port company who obviously did the remaster. Yeah.
Gotcha.
Okay. So still developer, still Game Freak. Great, I guess. I'm gonna go back. There's a great game, 2 games called Pokemon Coliseum and Pokemon XD Gale of Darkness. That were a spinoff of Pokemon, still had a bunch of the mainline, built into it with how battles work. You went into it knowing how the game worked because it was still a Pokemon game with Pokemon battles.
Yeah, Pokemon Coliseum was more kind of like an expansion thing, right? Like it didn't have a game in and of itself. It had 3D Pokemon battles.
You're thinking Pokemon Stadium. You're thinking Pokemon Stadium.
That's not what you said? Pokemon Stadium?
Nope. Pokemon Coliseum. Yeah,
it's Coliseum. A whole different building.
Whole different building, bro. Yeah, I actually and it sucks because the people who developed those games, I wish if they were the ones working on Arceus Legends, I would have been actually hyped. That's where I would have been. I'd be like, you know what? I trust you two, you guys, because of what you guys did with those games. But Pokemon Coliseum, first of all, quick synopsis: you're actually the ace. Basically, you were part of an evil organization that steals Pokemon from other people. Think of Team Rocket, except the way you do it it's almost like you use a certain machine that when you capture somebody else's Pokemon, it would basically brainwash the Pokemon, turn them to shadow Pokemon. So think of You know, like how in this one they show those noble Pokemon, they'll like be highlighted a different color before you see what they actually look like. And those Pokemon there, except in here, that's just them being noble Pokemon. They're like enraged and they're almost like in a beastly state, just a wild state of, they're like, I'm here to do damage. So they steal people's Pokemon and brainwash them to be fighting machines, basically. Excuse me. So you were actually the ace person from that team. You literally, the game starts with you coming in there, you blow up the side of the wall of the headquarters, steal that machine, drive out on your sexy motorcycle with your Espeon and Umbreon sitting in the sidecar. I'm telling you, as a kid, this looked cool. It looked cool, Casey, and I enjoyed that game.
Pokemon terrorism.
But Pokemon terrorism, it was great. I don't care. But
I mean, it's
the point is,
about that, right?
I mean, technically, there was every game is a terrorist organization if you think about it. But the point is, and the game looked good for the time. Like it was 3D and it was on GameCube. Both of them were on GameCube.
Yeah.
And the models looked for the time looked really good and everything. That's why I was like, if they had that team working on this, it'd be different. Game Freak, I don't think they know what to do with 3D environments. I really don't. I started from what Sun and Moon, I believe, was the first 3D one. I can't think right now. I skipped a little bit
top
after
down though, right?
Top down, yeah. And then same with Sword and Shield,
stuff, but yeah.
So it's like I don't think they know what to do with 3D. I think that with all the money that the Pokemon company generates, they should be paying someone else to handle the 3D
you're
like models, environments, textures. That's what they need to do. So visually, that's my problem with the game. Visually, they need to outsource for that. I think Pokemon Company and Game Freak are, like Blue said, people will buy it no matter what, right? It's the end of the day, people will buy Pokemon. But I think that if they really want to elevate Pokemon, with the Pokemon as a whole medium being the highest grossing media franchise, period, should want to elevate Pokemon outside of the merchandise and everything. They should elevate their games. I feel like it would just elevate everything all around. I don't know why they don't put more money into that. That's my stop for visual, because I'm not going to go into it too much. I don't like how the visuals look per se. I can deal with it, but
can I comment on that real quick?
Go ahead.
I've been disappointed with Pokemon animations for decades now. And when I looked at this trailer and I saw the bite animation was the same one that I've seen in like 3 other games before, I just wanted to turn it off immediately. That was frustrating. That was actually frustrating. Like, we've come this far and I'm seeing the same bite animation. And it, like, I want to see them actually go at it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, like that's the thing. Like
damn,
the potential is there. Like,
can I hit somebody?
Even non-fans of Pokemon can see how fun a game that lets you loose in a world full of Pokemon would be. Like if they really went like they put the whole foot in the broth and went like, oh, let's just copy Monster Hunter, but you're a Pokemon trainer who throws a monster at another monster, and then that monster has to fight this other monster. That's amazing. Come on now. Who doesn't want to do that? Who wouldn't want to be a Charizard fighting a Pikachu or vice versa? Like, why isn't that a thing? Let me tell you what I want to do.
Oh my God.
I want Ash to show up with his Charizard, right? I show up with my Blastoise. Them two are battling it while I'm throwing hands with this dude on the side. You know what I'm saying?
Like everybody's fighting.
Fight. I don't want
everybody's fighting.
Like, no, for real. When we're fighting this terrorist organizations and stuff like that, I don't want to play by no rules. I want to get in done. You know what I'm saying?
All right,
it's like a JoJo fight. Like, get rid of the stand user. Defeats the stand.
So in Pokemon like lore, right? There was a whole war. There's two times that they talk about like big wars in the Pokemon lore, right?
Heck?
You didn't know
Where
that?
was their lore?
All right, so like if you start with the very first Pokemon game, Lieutenant Surge, the third gym leader, talks about the war that he was legit fighting in, and then by the time you get to so we're basically in a time of quote unquote peace minus the terrorist organizations of whatever war was being fought, I guess, because he's not old, mind you. Like Lieutenant Surge is like maybe in his 40s, top 50.
Hold on,
so he's not old. So and then if you go to like I think it was no, it wasn't Sun and Moon, Sword and Shield. And Sword and Shield, if I remember, because it could be, no, it's X and Y. God dang it, these stupid names. X and Y.
Get to it. What
X and Y, the whole thing, there was like a long time ago, there was a war where the dude who loved this Pokemon that died built this machine and blah, blah, blah. Like, there's a whole thing where people and Pokemon were both scrapping, as Blue would basically put. Like, everybody was throwing hands with everybody. I'm sure somebody punched somebody else's Pokemon at some point, even during that. It's like, if there's a Charizard in your way, you got to do something, right? So you probably stabbed it. I don't know. You're just fighting it. People were throwing
if you punch a Charizard, that's not going to end well. Like,
I mean, unless you're Bruno from the Elite Four from Gen 1. He fights Onyxes, so he can do something. He wrestles with Onyxes.
Stabbed
he got to do something. Something.
Wow.
So, it only makes sense, right? But
Lieutenant Surge War Game, that sounds dope.
It does.
God of War stuff.
But at the end of the day, though, it's like Pokemon started to elevate their anime, right? So there's the mainline anime with Ash that is still whatever, buns. But there's Pokemon Origins, which is basically, and I love that to death.
I've seen a little of that.
Pokemon Origins was basically, the Gen 1 game made into an anime.
Yeah,
that's what Pokemon Origins is. And if I can even say, there's a GIF of it even that I use to people just to show them, be like, look at this GIF just so you can see how good this looks. And you'll think it's an anime, like a legitimate anime. And now Pokemon's been doing Pokemon Evolutions. Also, that looks amazing. And I'm like, if you're going to step it up, but they don't do it for the main audience, I need them to do that same amount of quality control and trying to elevate the medium for the main audience.
Yeah.
Just because they're kids, that even though they're the projected audience that they're doing this for are children, doesn't mean that they don't want to see something that looks good. You can still make it look better. Why not wow the kids like you wowed me when I was a kid when I first played Ocarina of Time? You know what I'm saying? I was still wowed. I was a child, but I was still like, I've never seen Legend of Zelda look like this before. What is this?
It's one of two things.
And we're not getting the wow factor from Arceus.
At all.
No.
And it's one of two things I feel like
not
is
visually
affecting this
at
team.
all, no.
It's either they are afraid, like scared shitless to make drastic changes to that franchise because the fan base can be kind of I don't know what the proper word is. Awful, you want to say? The fan base can be hard to deal with.
Yeah, awful.
So like either they don't want to make changes because if they liked it before, they'll like this new one that's not that different, right? Or they don't know what to do. Like they have like Pokemon success, absolute fluke. Because like if you think about it, the first core of those games like are very, very basic RPGs. Like they're not that crazy. The concept is the collection. People love the creatures and they love catching them all. That's what made it so addictive. So like the game around it was never really all that revolutionary. And like for all this time, they've never really been good at making a better version of that. They just keep doing the same thing that they've always done. And like they have no interest or care or want to like really blow that and expand it into something that'll really wow us now, the folks who grew up with it as adults. Because like I'm not going to keep playing that same game over and over again. I'm just not.
Because we don't want to catch them all no more.
Yeah, I just want to catch some.
I don't have time to catch them all.
I just want to catch the ones I like.
I want to catch the cool ones.
I want to catch the ones I like.
Feel free to catch as many as you want.
Exactly. And I think, honestly, I think that's a significant factor. At one point, the goal was to catch them all. And you're trading with your friends to make sure you collect that 150, 151, right? It's changed since then.
Technically, now the focus is more on battles.
Changed since then. Yeah, we're focusing on the battles now.
On the competitive
we're focusing
side.
on what our characters look like. We're focusing on what our team looks like.
Well,
what we're doing.
I would prefer
like the
stories
hardcore
were
fan,
more
though,
engaging.
right?
Yes,
that's the hardcore fan, though, right? Like the vast majority of those millions of sales, they're still kind of more casual Pokemon enjoyers, right? Or there's just that many hardcore Pokemon fans.
I actually don't know. I don't know. I haven't, because I even though I skipped games for a little bit, came back with Sun and Moon. Because I thought it would be different. They changed it wasn't going to be the gym leader thing anymore. And I was like, oh, that's actually something legit different in a mainline game. I'll try it. I was bored. I was like, I rather have the gyms. They went to Sword and Shield, which I also skipped because I just wasn't as interested. I had expectation of what I thought they should do, which I think I mentioned before. If you guys look at the map for Sword and Shield, like the world map, they could have easily made it feel open world, be like, here's the first section. You can't get past this little area that goes to the next section until you collect the 2 or 3 gems in this giant area. go to the gyms in your order. In the Pokemon Origins show, right? If you think about Pokemon, no, everybody doesn't start their Pokemon adventure in Pallet Town in Gen 1. That wouldn't make sense. There's people all over the Pokemon world. Why are they all starting in Pallet Town? So what happens is when he goes into Brock's gym, he asks, how many badges do you have? And he's like, I don't have any yet. And so Brock is like, oh, okay. So I'm only going to use these 2 Pokemon. Basically, Brock's saying, if you came in here with 4 badges, I'm about to use these
I'm going to
4
turn it up
Pokemon.
on you, little boy.
If you came here with, so because basically everybody who's a gym leader, they're not supposed to be weak. They're not Elite 4 level, but all the gym leaders should have the same like battle prowess and be equal. They just have a different typing that they focus on. So which makes more sense. So I would like it if it said like, hey, you're here. There's 3 gyms in this overall area. You can go in whatever order. You can do that. Right. That makes me feel like it feels like there's freedom. I can explore in the way I want, go at the pace I want. Once I get these 3 gyms, and the same way in the first game where to get to the Indigo Plateau, which is stupid, you have to go past every single guard. He's like, did you get this badge? Yes. All right, you can go. Did you get basically do that? Be like, how many did you get 3 badges yet? Yeah, you can go to this next area. You're ready now because all the Pokemon here range from this level to this level.
Wait,
that would make it fun.
They pay like 8 guards to ask you about specific badges.
Yes, in Gen 1,
you could have just had one guard ask you for all 8. Like, let me just check.
You know what? They're giving people jobs in the Kanto region.
You're right. They are giving people jobs. We can't be mad. But back to Pokemon Arceus Legends. I am happy for some of the things because when I look at it, like you guys said, this should have been here for a while. Whether in the mainline game or a spinoff. But I do feel like outside of where people have taken Pokemon, I feel like this is the most Pokemon game that I've seen. And by that, I mean, it feels like I'm in a Pokemon world by some of the stuff that I'm able to do in this one. Mm-hmm. If I grew up watching the cartoon, it'll be like, oh, look at them actually sneaking up on this Pokemon to catch right now to try to see if he could actually just get the advantage on it. I would like to be able to do that. That makes sense. Oh, you can actually the whole point of this one, since we're in the past or whatever of the Sinnoh region, which is Gen 4, where Hisui as they call it now, I think. The whole point is we're mapping out the region and capturing these Pokemon to create the Pokedex. That's actually putting more emphasis
I think
on
that's cool.
Catching them all, which is supposed to be the foundation of Pokemon. So I honestly, and then the strong and the agile style, when you're watching the show, there'll be times where, especially more so back in the day, I haven't watched the show in a long time, but where they'd be like, he'd give Pikachu an instruction and it would be more to focus on being fast instead of trying to get those critical hits in. So the strong and agile style would be like, I could actually say, they changed in this one. It's like, it's still turn-based, but it's the whole like, oh, if your Pokemon's this much faster, you might go twice before the next person goes. So now I could be like, that makes sense. And now I can even utilize that more and be like, oh, my Pokemon's going twice while they're going once. Let me use the agile style. I can just get 3 hits in. Or I can say, I'm going to use the strong style. I might even still be fast enough to get 2 hits in anyway. Or it'll go down to 1, but I know I'm still going, I'm be able to hit harder because it's just a back and forth. It just makes more sense and feels like the most me being an actual trainer than I've ever felt in the mainline game for a long time.
And it adds a nice like risk reward element of like, I'm going to use a strong attack because hopefully I could take them out in 1 hit. But if I don't, I'm risking them getting 2 hits on me, and maybe that's totally going to bone me over in the rest of the battle. So like that just adds a layer of strategy that's appreciated.
So I definitely, yes, Baz, I came out of hiding for this. I didn't know this was a topic, but I was happy when I saw it was. But yeah, so it's like, it's sad because this feels like the most Pokemon game in a while, but it just doesn't look good. And I want them to actually try to elevate that. If this had at least looked decent, even though like all the mechanics here aren't anything new and it's not, it could have been a start of something. And people be like, oh, I like these changes. Yeah, invest more into these for even a mainline game. And then they can start putting because I'm sure it's still just the Pokemon company. And even though they have plenty of money, they really should. I'm sure they budgeted out how much money is going into the next mainline game versus this. So I rather instead, if people show off that they like this game, if it's actually good, I'm hoping it's good, and people show off that they like it, that they're like, okay, boom, next mainline game is going to be like this. This isn't a spinoff anymore, and then put all the budget in.
Doesn't that feel like a little bit of like a ransom? Because like I mentioned earlier,
Yes.
like there's like two sides to this. Like this looks like old, dated, lazy in a way. Like they're not changing enough. It's too scared to change enough. But of the stuff that they are changing, like I like it. I like that direction. I want them to go further with this concept. And if this game doesn't hit, they're gonna take that feedback and be like, all right, well, let's just go back to what we were doing before. Right? But it's like you can't half step it.
And even if
they barely tried for this one. So like why should we as a consumer be like, all right, well, let's buy it anyway. Let's say that we liked it so that hopefully the next one is good.
I do not encourage
good.
buying. Yeah, I do not even encourage just telling people to buy it anyway just because
I agree. Like that's the wrong
You ain't got
message.
to. And that's the problem. That's the problem with the Nintendo fandom is that there's a large percentage of people that are going to buy it just because Nintendo put it out. And just because it's got Pokemon. And,
his head.
I'm going to be honest. Like,
I'm buying this one purely because, like I said, it feels like the most Pokemon game because I have skipped it before.
But there's plenty. The last one. Like I bought Sword and Shield because I thought that one was trying something new. Like I honestly feel like they're as lied in Sword and Shield. Like it looked like an open world and it wasn't.
Excuse me. Can I rant for like
go right
2
ahead.
minutes real quick?
It's your world. Your
Sword and
Pokemon
Shield
world.
was actually full of lies. It's not even just that. Sword and Shield, they legit lied to us. That's why I didn't buy it.
Mm-hmm.
There's plenty of things like, oh, we're getting rid of the catch 'em all factor. Literally, they got rid of the catch 'em all thing because they're like, we're trying to balance it out, right? They literally said we're trying to balance out the use of Pokemon. So we're leaving some Pokemon out, leaving some to try to balance it. One, I knew that made no sense in the beginning because I'm like, this is supposed to be catch 'em all. How am I not supposed to be able to get them all in this game? I don't understand. But also, right, they reuse models from Sun and Moon. So they cut time there. So it's like you're cutting out all these Pokemon that aren't even going to exist in this game no matter what we do. You should have time to improve the models, but you're just copy paste it. Mm-hmm. Second, later on when the DLC came out, they brought a bunch of Pokemon in that were cut out.
Should have been there.
For balancing purposes. So that means they weren't balanced. You just wanted to make people pay for it later, honestly, twice, because it should have been there. So, yeah, no, Sword and Shield was a big lie. I was very upset about that one in general. So that's why I skipped it. I thought about getting it first. And then when they cut the poem, I was like, I don't know if this is making sense. I started seeing more red flags. It's like, I'm going to leave this one out. And I'm glad I did. So, yeah, that's my 2 minutes there. But for this one, I'm only getting it because it feels like it's going to be different. I am still waiting for reviews, though. I don't need people to tell me it's the best thing they've ever played. I just need people to say, like, it's different. I enjoyed the differences. It's not perfect, but it's still a decent time. Even if people say, wait for a discount, to me, they'll still be like, okay, I might enjoy it then.
You're gonna wait the rest of your life.
I'm still waiting for reviews.
So this is our first party Nintendo game.
Nintendo don't do that.
Oh, yeah. I wouldn't wait for the discount. I would
like,
still
what
get it.
Discount?
I just need people to say, like, it's not.
Like, you're not going to get one.
If people say.
When's Pokemon Day? Whenever there's Pokemon Day, then
whenever the next Pokemon Day.
You can get it for $49.99 instead of
yeah, there it is.
That's it. But that's all I need. If people say it's okay, that's cool. And also, side note too, because I remember someone said, "What if?" Let me answer. Jumbly Wobbly said, "What if? Hear me out. A property comes out of left field called Critter Trainer and gives you everything Pokey don't." So actually, there was a game. It's still in early access called Temtem.
Yeah,
which
I've heard
honestly, it took. I thought Temtem was good. I own it, but I didn't want to play through early access. I wanted the game to fully be out and just go through. Well, I'm pretty sure it's still in early access, Deebs. I haven't checked in a while though, but I wanted to play through the whole thing. What Temtem does that Pokey don't is one, you can play through the entire game with a friend. So. It's almost like it's MMO. You don't see everybody. And Nexomon's another one too that exists. You see other trainers roaming around in your server, and you can actually play cooperative with your friend through the entire thing. And that's even gym leaders. You can do co-op, so you'll just be doing double battles the whole way through with your friends. Anytime you cross other trainers, it'll automatically be a double battle where you're just working with the person beside you. It's still confirmed early access. Yeah. So still early access. I'm waiting for it to finish to give it a full thing. But it was fun being able to do something different. It felt more balanced when it comes to the Pokemon. Like every Pokemon still felt like it had its usage, and the way that the animations in battle were a lot better. It was. I want them to take the Temtem team, buy them out, bring them over, go get, I believe they're called Genius Sorority or whatever, who did the Pokemon Coliseum and Pokemon XD Gale of Darkness game. Bring them back. Just so you know how good it looked at the time, when they first showed like a snippet of Pokken tournament or whatever, and all you saw was a Blaziken and whatever, and they were standing ready to fight in the environment. When I saw that, me and Kiba legit thought that they brought that team back and they just were using updated graphics to make a new Pokemon Coliseum. That's how much hope and reliability I have in that team because of what they did. Because when I saw it, I was like, oh, that looks like the environment looked like Pirate Town from Pokemon Coliseum. The Pokemon models looked great in Pokken. Don't know why they can't look like that. And that was on Wii U. That was on Wii U. I don't know why it can't look like that. So
still on the topic of Pokemon Coliseum, I looked it up when you started talking about it because I didn't play the game on GameCube. You know how Pokemon games are always like modeled after a region, so it's like this one's New York inspired or Paris or Hawaii.
Yeah.
The Ori region of Pokemon Coliseum is modeled after the real life city of Phoenix, Arizona.
It is. One is a big desert.
I find that so funny for some reason.
One is a big desert.
I did not know that.
That would be like if the next Pokemon in the game we're modeling it after Flint, Michigan. Enjoy, everybody.
That's so random.
No, it can, and even Pokemon Battle Revolution. Pokemon Battle Revolution was on Wii, and those models looked really good. The fact that we can't have something that looks like even Pokemon Coliseum, a Pokemon Battle Revolution, a Wii game models, but just updated textures in HD on a Switch, bugs me. It really does. I don't know if they just need to make that Switch Pro only home console version so they can focus on power, not portability. I don't know what Pokemon needs.
What Switch Pro?
But no, because Odyssey looks good. Freaking Odyssey looks good.
Odyssey does look good.
Get it. It's the Pokemon Company. At the end of the day, I blame Pokemon Company and Game Freak.
Don't care about Pokemon. They don't give a shit.
They don't.
They care about the money Pokemon makes them.
There are a bunch of Digimon fans over there.
And the thing is too, because even though because Pokemon Company is a separate entity than Nintendo, right? If to my understanding, it's just a partnership.
Yes.
So technically, I don't know what their contract is, but if Pokemon Company wanted to, they could just leave Nintendo at any point in time. If they
probably
right? They don't have like a lifelong contract.
They probably do have a lifelong contract.
They probably got some savings.
Like
Jesus, I didn't know you could do lifelong contracts.
The fact that they are like the biggest entertainment thing, period, bodes well for their partnership with Nintendo. Like I don't think that's a thing that they are in the market for changing up. You know what I mean? Like it works.
I think Pokemon's too synonymous with Nintendo that they couldn't.
Right? Yeah. Like it's not going to work. But someone does need to somehow put their foot down at that company and say like, look, I want to take some creative risks. Because is it even a risk? Like,
and I'm wondering,
Pokemon games sell regardless of what
quality
you do.
Game.
Right? Like that's the risk.
And that's why I'm wondering, like,
put out a good game.
and I honestly wonder when it comes to Nintendo how much like say they have when it comes to the Pokemon Company and Game Freak. I really want to know the dynamic between the two companies, right? Because like Nintendo's not technically making money off the anime. That's the Pokemon Company's thing. But the anime is going to lead people back to the games, which is still tied to Nintendo.
I believe Nintendo owns a third of the Pokemon Company.
Well, there you
go.
go.
Of the Pokemon Company, Nintendo
they
is. So that's why I don't.
Yeah.
That's why we're never going to see Pokemon as something else. Yeah, but ultimately, I believe
sense.
Pokemon Company is autonomous in their development.
Right.
Like I don't know if with that third, Nintendo could step in and say you need to not release a game for 3 years so you can figure shit out.
But I bet they have the sway
to
do that if they chose.
They have a sway to shit, but like everyone says,
like they have the development talent to be like,
on
hey,
Nintendo's side.
Like if Miyamoto or Eiji Aonuma, like one of these big heavy hitter legendary game developers, showed up at a Pokemon Company board meeting, it was like, look, I've got an idea. Let's not make any more Pokemons. Let's work on this.
Back to Nintendo.
Like they're not going to tell them no, but no one's going to say that.
You better not sell
because nobody gives a shit about Pokemon.
And I think because Nintendo's getting the numbers they need.
This is what I imagine. Unfortunately, I I'm sure there is somebody out there, some young fire snap cracker, you know what I mean? Just got started and say, these really good ideas, and finally gets the chance to barge into the boardroom, and they're saying, I want to do this and that, and I want to update the graphics, and they say, how much is that going to cost? And they're like, well, we got the money, but it'll cost blah blah blah, and it's going to be quality. And they're like, but if we spend just like $10, we just spend $10, copy paste this, and just update that thing, we will get a shit ton anyway.
Yeah, we're gonna make the same amount of money.
Sure they do.
So why? I think that's how I imagine it happens. They say, why spend more money when we're gonna make a shit ton of money?
But it's the way Pokemon sells every time they release. You can always do more, but like, could they realistically do more? Like, if they spent an exponentially more amount of money on that product, would they get exponentially more returns? Because some people just don't care about Pokemon,
and they legitimately don't know as much money as they do make. Yeah, they really don't know if the return would be worth it in a business aspect.
The risk is too high to change it.
But what bothers me is like, I'm legit going to buy. I don't buy every Pokemon game, but I legit buy every Zelda game that comes out, and they still at least try. I barely buy Mario games because I didn't grow up as a platformer gamer. I didn't grow up during the platform era as big as it was. But like when they showed Odyssey, I'm like, I literally, just because of how it looked, I was like, I feel like I have to buy this. I feel like I have to give this game a chance because look at it. That's literally what was me. I said, look at it. I have to try it. So I bought it and I enjoyed it. I saw Breath of the Wild.
Do recommend.
I saw Breath of the Wild and I was like, oh, they're trying to take what they did with the very first Zelda game, but actually put that on a more modern aspect with modern hardware, try to make it a 3D environment. It may not be the most amazing looking game, but I haven't seen Legend of Zelda look like this.
It's aged. That's all. That game is what, 5 years old now?
Yeah, it's 5 years old.
6 years
yeah,
old?
2017. So it's about to hit the 5-year mark.
Yeah,
so
it's aged. It's fine.
So it's like, I've never. I want to play that. When I saw Twilight Princess, I felt the same. I was like, "Whose Zelda is this? This Ocarina of Time, but on modern consoles. This is more dark looking. I like this. Yeah, hit me up." So I was like, at least they try to change the art style and take advantage of graphics. Wind Waker, people hated it first. They thought it looked cutesy, then they actually played it and they were like, "Oh, this is amazing." What?
Yep.
I haven't had a Zelda game that missed for me, so I keep giving them my.
You like Skyward Sword?
Skyward Sword.
Skyward Sword did not miss for me because I had no motion control issues. Sorry, I had none. I had a great.
The issue was that it was motion controls. Period. It wasn't that the motion controls didn't work. They worked. They just suck.
Hey,
the game is not fun to play.
They didn't suck for me. I was out here like, directional. I felt so good. Remember, I'm 26, so I was younger. Casey,
Ash is a young weeb, so that makes sense. That checks out.
Young weeb.
All right, we've been going on for a while now. Any final thoughts on Pokemon Legends Arceus, the Nintendo company, Game Freak?
I mean, I hope it's good. Ultimately, I want all these games to be good. Like, I would love if Pokemon Arceus were like, well, it doesn't look great, but like it plays and it's really fun and the gameplay loops great and what it pulls from Monster Hunter is really neat and I'm excited for the series again. So, yeah, I don't know. I want every game I play to be good.
Yeah, I mean, I'd be happy if it was good. I just don't see it. Like, it's just the look of it just does not ring true in terms of the quality you would want for what they're attempting.
I'm hoping they put the quality everywhere else. That's all I got.
Like, where else is it? Like, they showed you 13 minutes of Pokemon.
New Pokemon Snap.
New Pokemon Snap. Thought it was great.
Looks great, and it's on the Switch. I don't get it. Who made that? It was a Game Freak.
Probably
I'll tell you that much. New Pokemon Snap.
For me, I don't have any real high hopes for this game. I think the only thing that could salvage it for me is fun multiplayer play. I haven't seen too much.
Isn't it entirely single player though?
To my understanding,
go ahead.
I know at least they haven't mentioned any like PvP battle wise stuff, but I don't know if there's any cooperative play like a Pokemon Let's Go type of scenario or like like actually both people in the same world, but they haven't mentioned anything about PvP battles. They only mentioned about trading, I think.
Yeah, so that's
they said there's like a trading post in the village.
Yeah, so any kind of multiplayer system that can wow me besides the trade could bump this a little bit higher on my list, but it's nowhere near a buy.
Dude, this game had like actual co-op. That would actually sound really fun for me. Just traversing the Pokemon world, both on the back of our Pokemon, whether you're fly. Like if I'm riding around on the whichever one no, but imagine me riding around that Hisuian like evolved Stantler, and I look up and you're just paragliding on a Pokemon. I'm like, hey, what's up? Yeah, let's go get this legitimate Pokemon. Like that. I would give them money, even though I'm going to give them money anyway. But I would give them money.
Ash is part of the problem.
More willingly.
But me as a super fan, if they charge, they could throw out a wild price for the Pokemon game that I want, and I give it to them. That's my point.
But it's the game that you want, though.
Yeah, it's the game that I want.
Yeah, it's the game that they want to sell you.
They know you're going to buy it.
Yeah, you're still going to give them the money for the game that they want to give you, rather than the game that you want.
It's the same amount of money.
One last side note, I was 15 when Skyward Sword came out, so yeah, motion controls were probably a lit idea for me. Secondly, there is 2 Pokemon games that are not Nintendo fan-made online. There's PokeMMO, which is actually a Pokemon MMO that takes place in Gen 1, but they add in like Gen 3 and 4 assets and everything into it, so you can have all that nice stuff. And there was one that was kind of like also where you guys are saying like you almost control the Pokemon. You are the Pokemon size. You're like moving around as your trainer. You throw out the Pokeball. Once the Pokemon comes out, you control
you just fight with
your Pokemon.
Yeah, I feel like I have seen that as like a modded thing or a fan thing. Also,
those 2 actually exist if you want to play those.
This is a weird Pokemon clone.
In the meantime,
a video of where it was like a girl with a machine
with
gun.
The guns.
Yes,
with the guns. I want to play it. I don't care.
It looked crazy.
I don't care,
but also cool.
She used her Pokemon as a Pokemon shield and take the bullets of oncoming enemies.
Yeah, like she was
to the side. I was like, "Yo, that's the game you want, Blue. That's the game you want. That's the Pokemon War."
If you guys know what that is,
they had them like building environments.
It was real funny looking.
Also, I'm pretty sure all those games are going to get a cease and desist by the end of this show. So it's fine.
It's called Pal World.
Pal World, yes.
Pal World is the name of it.
Look up video of Pal World. It is absolutely insane.
Can I play that? Is that out? When does that come out? It comes out this year on Steam. I'm buying it. They're getting my money.
They can't put that game on Steam?
Hold on.
They can't put that game on Steam at all.
I don't think it uses actual Pokemon, though.
Build.
It's like Pokemon.
Oh, gotcha.
Wait. Okay, so your pals can fight, build, farm, and work in factories. That's how you saw them like working the building and like making the gears turn and stuff. Right. And you can use electrical pals to power up your factories and stuff.
I remember that trailer. Yeah, that made me uncomfortable.
Yeah, I'm playing that. It's going down. If it has any co-op, any multiplayer, like where we're both in there, Blue, you're playing it with me, right? We're gonna be shooting the terrorist organ. Why are we not shooting the terrorist organizations? Just using Pokemon.
How are we still talking about Pokemon? What is?
Ash will never stop talking about Pokemon. Money. So on that note, let's wrap things
has my money
up. Ash, why don't you start? Let us know what it is you're doing this week. You said you're gonna be jumping back into streaming and stuff, right?
Yes, sir. I'm getting back in there after I found out one of my RAM sticks were bad and causing me all those FPS issues during game, and I'm sending that to be RMA'd. So I can still play because I got 2 RAM sticks.
At all. Like I didn't understand nothing you just said.
You know what RAM is? Stop.
You talk about PC RAM. Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
One of the DIMMs, one of the RAM sticks were bad, and that was causing instability with frame rate for gaming.
Right. Yeah, you don't want that.
I had to send that in to be fixed, to be replaced, basically. But I still have 1 stick, so my PC still works right now. So yay! So I'm gonna be hopefully streaming some Final Fantasy VII Remake or Guardians of the Galaxy tomorrow. I'd never played through the original Final Fantasy VII. I know that there's some things that were changed, apparently, like story-wise. I heard people say it's not the exact same story, but people still really enjoyed it. So if old fans still enjoyed it, even if the story wasn't the same, then I'm assuming the story is still good, which is fine for me. So first time playing through, you can see someone basically first time react. I'm not that far in it, don't worry. I beat the first boss. That's it. And then Guardians of the Galaxy, Not super far in that either, so you guys won't miss too much, and I can easily catch you up. But they're both fun, so I'll probably stream one of those tomorrow. And later on in the week, we'll be doing more Pokemon content. Yeah, Pokemon content. Still doing that that challenge, that hardcore Nuzlocke challenge run with two of my friends. So that'll be on tomorrow. No, Tuesday. That'll be on Tuesday, I believe. Earlier in the day. I don't know what time yet. We got to figure that out. Probably earlier or later because I got to work around my D&D session that you guys don't get to be in. Hopefully on Monday or Tuesday. Blue will let me know if he's off tomorrow, since his black-owned company needs to get this green on Martin Luther King Day. Yeah.
All right, I'm assuming that wraps it up for Ash. How about you, Blue?
Yes, it does.
What are you doing this week?
And for me too. He just wrapped it up for me.
I hope your boss is watching the stream. I hope they're watching.
What's going on, everybody? It's your boy Blue Bones BLUB0NES. This week, Wednesday, it's going to be Over Wednesdays on the Open Party channel. We're going to be playing Overwatch. We're going to get those dubs. Last week was a little rough, but we didn't do too bad overall, so I was pretty happy about it. Let's see, and then Friday is going to be Friday Night with Blue at 9 p.m. on my personal channel. We're going to have Tiger Nato this week, and he's going to be running me through Street Fighter 5. So prepare to see some spectacular L's from your boy, but dubs from Tiger Nato. On top of that, I should be around for Super Smash today. I just got to double check one more thing. And that's going to be a lot of fun. I know Sig, you and I are going to be on that.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's about it for me.
Sweet. How about you, Marty? What do you got coming up?
Yeah, most folks in the chat probably know about all our escapist stuff. You could check Casey and I on our playthrough of Dead Space 2 every Thursday. We're about 4 hours in that game, having a super fun time. Check that out. And Breakout every Wednesday morning, or the two of us and Nick come and gab about the latest topics and whatnot. Yeah, just the rest of our shows, streams, written stuff on the site. Yeah, check all that stuff out. And then, Casey had the big season finale of Adventure is Nigh go up yesterday, which is our escapist big D&D game. So season 1 finale of the campaign, a 2-part episode went up yesterday. So if you like those shenanigans, be sure to watch that and stay tuned for season 2.
Yeah, that's coming in the spring, apparently. If you've not watched any of Adventure is Nigh, please change that about yourself. It's a negative trait. We don't like that here.
I heard you wore a scarf in the finale. I haven't watched it yet, but I heard about a scarf.
If you're into scarves, I guess. you could see
big deal.
Scarf on.
It's a big deal.
Anyway, does that wrap it up for you, Marty?
Yeah.
Okay, so you guys can catch me right here, Sing Gears 9 on Twitch, same name on Twitter. Like Blue mentioned, later today on the Open Party channel, we'll be doing Super Smash Sunday at 2:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Superman Jeff will probably be joining us for that as well. So look forward to that. Marty already said some of the other streams that I'm on for The Escapist, but just follow The Escapist for stuff that I'm doing throughout the week. And I think that should pretty much do it. I can't think of anything else right now, and this show has gone on for far too long. So we will see you guys next week. Hope you guys enjoyed. Really appreciate everybody coming through to watch. See you next time. Peace.
Yeah.